welcome. Welcome to my practice space. I have these glorious plants that I'm really grateful for, and it's a gorgeous sunshiny day. I just was outside for a walk, which I heard it's totally fine to be outside in nature as long as you're keeping physical distance from other humans. So if you have that opportunity, I encourage you to give yourself that gift of being out in nature today, tomorrow, heck, every day of your life. For today's practice, mat, if you have one, if not, a hardwood floor. If you have a block, a shoebox, a giant can, that could work, but you don't have to have a block for today's practice. I do recommend a blanket. I'm going to be offering some restorative shapes at the end, and a blanket is really nice for that. So find like a medium-sized blanket in your house, and for now, just fold it up so it becomes like a little rectangle or a square. I did set along a playlist. If you have Spotify, you can listen to the playlist while we practice. It doesn't span the entire length of the class, so I'll let you know when's a good time to start it. It'll be about 15-20 minutes in, so I'll say, hey, go ahead and pause the video, start the playlist now, come back, and then voila. So what else? It's always really important to listen to your body, to move with your breath. So if something I'm offering doesn't feel okay for you in your body, then don't do it. Do something else. Stop doing that. Come to something you know and love. If it becomes kind of difficult to breathe in a shape, to breathe deeply in a shape, back out of it. It's a little too far. Yeah, we're going to get started by coming to lay on our backs. So come to lay on your back. You want your feet planted. You want your feet as wide as the mat, and you'll allow your knees to knock in. Kind of settle the back into the mat so it's flat. And then bring your hands to your body, palms down. Anywhere that's calling out to you, anywhere where the backs of the arms and the elbows can be supported into the earth. Low ribs might feel good. Mid-belly. Low belly, maybe tops of thighs, you decide. And just start to tune into your breath, coming in and out through your nose. Noticing this gentle swell of the belly and fall of your belly with inhales and exhales. Feeling your body expand and contract beneath your hands as you breathe. And if you haven't already, start to deepen your breath. Finding a breath that's smoother, longer, and deeper than how you breathe off of your mat. A breath that feels nourishing and could carry you through your whole physical practice. Softly bring your arms out to the sides. Palms could be up or down. Separate your knees, but keep your feet wide. And just start to windshield wipe your shins from side to side. You can go at any pace that feels good for you, that's calling out to you. And the next time your knees fall to the left, allow them to stay there. Again, feet are wide, knees are wide. You want to feel this line of energy from right hip through right knee, like the knee is pointing straight out of the hip. Soften the shoulders into the mat. Relax the back of your head and your neck. And allow your breath to travel all the way into your right thigh, It melts into the muscles, melts into your inner thigh, your outer hip, and your right glute. Bring your knees slowly up to center and release them to the opposite side. Again, keeping the feet nice and wide, the knees wide, softening the entire torso into the mat, into the earth. And feel this straight line from left hip through left kneecap, allowing the inside of the left knee to melt to gravity, allowing your breath to travel into the top of your left thigh, inner left thigh, outer hip, and left glute. Slowly bring your knees up through center, plant your feet. You'll walk your feet in so that they're hips width distance. Bring your arms alongside your body so your palms face down and your fingertips point towards your heels. You'll want your feet pretty close to your body so that your ankles are right under your knees. And we're going to start to flow connect movement with breath in bridge, this lifting up of the hips and lowering down of the hips. So start to press into your feet, press into your hands, press into your upper back. On your inhale, lift your hips up. You get to decide how high. And then on your exhale, lower them down. We'll keep flowing like that. Inhale, lift your hips up. And exhale, lower them down. Keep moving. Inhaling to press down and lift up. And exhaling to lower. Do that 2 more times with your breath. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling to lower. 1 more time. And now we'll do the same thing, but we'll add the arms. So inhale, lift the hips and reach your arms overhead, backs of the hands coming towards top of mat. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift hips, lift arms overhead. Exhale, lower. And 1 more time, just like that. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower. Go ahead and hug your knees in towards your chest. Cross your ankles. Make gentle rocking motions across the low back, side to side. Could be a big circle in both directions. Could be little figure 8s. Whatever feels good. Find this quality of massaging your low back. And like your love handles. All while deep breathing deeply. And then go ahead and roll over onto one side. You'll plant your palms so you can press yourself up to hands and knees. When you come to hands and knees, have hands under shoulders, fingers spread wide, knees under hips. We're going to start to flow through some cat-cow. So inhale to drop the belly slightly, lift your heart, lift your gaze. And then exhale, lift the belly, round up the spine, drop your head. Inhale, belly goes down as heart and gaze lift. And then exhale, lift the belly, lift the upper back, drop the head. Do this 2 more times with your breath. It's an inhale to find cow. And an exhale to find cat. 1 more time, just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and cross your ankles behind you and sit back. So here, you could sit up on the edge of a blanket, and I do mean the edge. So we just want like the sits bones to be supported by the blanket. You could reach back, peel some flesh off the bony part of your butt. And you want to kind of feel a little bit like the pelvis is tilting forward. That's why we sit on the edge of the blanket. Bring your hands to rest on your thighs, get really tall, and just roll your shoulders up, back, and down with some deep rounds of breath a few times. And then allow your shoulders to get so heavy down your back. You're going to take a twist to your right. Bring your right hand behind you. Left arm comes across the body. Sit up really tall. This hand behind you is like a kickstand, helping you to get tall in the chest and in the spine. And then gaze back towards your back shoulder. Keep breathing deeply all the way down into your belly. And exhaling fully. Take this twist to the other side. Get really tall. Go ahead and unwind, face forward. Plant your left palm on the floor by your hips, spread your fingers wide, and then reach your arm up alongside your ear. Go ahead and lean over. Really press into this palm on the floor so you can reach your right rib cage over. Allow your shoulders to press away from your ears and breathe deeply here. Come all the way up to center. Plant your right palm, spread the fingers wide. Reach the left arm up alongside your ear and lean the opposite way. Shoulders away from ears. Really press your left ribcage over to the left and breathe all the way into your belly. On your inhale, come on up to center. Exhale, hands by your sides. Come on off of your blanket, remove it from underneath you. You'll come back forward to hands and knees. And then from here, lift yourself up to downward facing dog. So if you need a little more instruction, you want your hands, a big handprint out in front of you. So forward of your shoulders, spread your fingers wide. Tuck your toes, lift your hips high, but then keep a generous bend in your knees so that you can protect the backs of your legs. The shape is not about lengthening the legs, rather, it's about lifting hips high. Now from here, start to wag your tail. So like hugging one heel towards the earth and then the other. Swaying the hips side to side. Anything that feels good here. With deep breath. Go ahead and shake out the head. Stretch into the muscles of the face. Beautiful. And then we're going to warm up a little more here with some plank waves. So keep your feet nice and wide, keep your hands nice and wide. On your next inhale, ripple forward to a high plank, like the top end of a push-up. Yeah, so you want your hips in line with your shoulders. You can always lower your knees for some support here. But either way, keep pressing into your hands, rounding in your upper back, like that cat-like shape in your upper back. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, pull the belly up. Reach the heels back, gaze forward, and breathe. Go ahead and lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Option for stillness here, option to find that pedaling. And let's do that again. Inhale, ripple forward to high plank, hold here, press into the earth. Round into your upper back, shoulders away from ears. Pull your belly up, squeeze your obliques in, those side ab muscles. Yeah, again, you can lower knees for support. Now, from here, feel your thighs engage. It's as if your inner thighs are moving towards each other, but nothing actually moves. That'll Engage your leg muscles. Breathe here. Go ahead and lift up to downward facing dog. Breathe here. And one more time. Inhale, ripple forward to a high plank. Hold here. And then we'll flow through our first vinyasa. Go ahead and lower your knees down. Keep your hips lifted. Plunge chest and chin forward. Come to Ashtapranam. It's like a caterpillar mid-stride. The hips are high, the elbows hug in. Press off by hands and feet. Inhale, come forward to your belly for baby cobra. So toes go back. Hug your elbows in. Lift your heart. Gaze forward. Breathe here. Take another inhale. And then on your exhale, tuck toes. Press through hands and knees. Lift hips up high. Downward facing dog. From down dog, look forward. Take as many steps as you can to get to the top of your mat. And when you arrive, stay folded for a ragdoll. So you want to keep distance in the feet, a little bend in the knees. Drop the head, take hold of opposite elbows, unless you like something else, and then start to sway your body gently from side to side. Shake your head yes and no. Stretch into the muscles of the face. Sigh. Go ahead and release your elbows here. And start to slowly roll up to stand, stacking vertebra on vertebra. Once you're vertical, rolling your shoulders up, back, and down. I know my head and like my shoulders are a little cut off here, but hey, if you wanted to listen along to the Spotify playlist, you can hit pause on the recording now, and then go ahead and start the playlist, and then join us back here, okay? So come to stand at the top of your mat in mountain pose. So for a mountain, the feet could be nice and wide or touching. Toes face forward, root down into your feet, lift up through the crown of your head. Your shoulders are heavy away from your ears. Your heart lifts. Pull your belly in. We're going to flow through sun salutation, Surya Namaskar A. On an inhale, lift your arms high to the sky. Exhale, dive forward, reach towards your toes. Bring fingertips to shins. Inhale to halfway lift, heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, bend knees, plant hands, step back to high plank pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, Ashtapranam. Inhale forward to your belly, find baby cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Look forward to the top of your mat. Walk, step, maybe hop. When you arrive, fingertips to shins. Inhale to halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. Ground into the feet. Inhale, rise, arms high to the sky. Exhale, hands by your side. Let's keep moving. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale, dive. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale back to high plank pose. Pause here for an inhale. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale forward to your belly, find baby cobra. And then exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Look forward, take a journey to the top of your mat. Land with a long spine, big inhale. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, arms high. Exhale, hands by your sides. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale back. Lower down immediately. Knees, chest, chin. Yeah. Inhale forward to your belly. Baby cobra. And then exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Look forward, take a journey to the top of your mat. It's an inhale when you arrive, lift up halfway. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, arms high to the sky. Exhale, hands by your sides. Pause here, find your mountain pose. And now we're going to practice Sun Salutation B, Surya Namaskar B. So sink back to chair, bend your knees, hips go back, arms lift, yes. Shoulders away from ears. You can't see my hands, but they're at like a V overhead. You could even widen them more, so it's more like a Y if the shoulders are tight. Breathe here. Wait for your exhale to fold in half towards your toes. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale back to plank pose. Now hold here. So far we've done knees, chest, chin to baby cobra. I'm going to offer chaturanga, dandasana, and up dog. So for chaturanga, you could have knees lifted or lowered. On an exhale, bend your elbows just halfway. Then inhale, lift your heart, toes go back. Everything's lifted but hands and feet for up dog. Exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, bring your foot forward. It lands near your right thumb. Back heel comes down 45 degrees. Rise up, warrior one. So chest is forward, hips are forward. Back toes are angling slightly forward. Deep bend in the front knee. Breathe here. Another big inhale, lift your chest a little higher. Exhale, lower your hands down. You're going to step back to plank pose. You can hold here. You could go to down dog, or you could flow through your vinyasa. Wait to exhale to lower. Inhale to lift baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips high. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, foot forward. It lands near your left thumb. Bring back heel down like a 45-degree angle. Rise up for warrior one. So chest faces forward. Back toes angle forward. Lift arms up alongside your ears. Allow shoulders to get heavy away from your ears. Breathe here. Exhale, lower your hands down. Step back, plank pose, snap. You can hold here, you can go to down dog or flow. If you want to flow, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hips high. Downward dog, breathe here. Look forward towards the top of your mat, walk, step, or hop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair, knees bend, hips sink, arms lift. Exhale to mountain, stand tall. Hold here, breathe here. Sink back to chair, take an inhale. And exhale, fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, move through your vinyasa or go straight to down dog. That's where we will meet. Inhale, our right leg high to the sky. Exhale, the foot forward. It lands in between the hands for a lunge. Gently lower the back knee. You could pad up with a blanket here if you'd like. Reach the back toes back. You'll pour weight into the left hand, bring right hand to the thigh, twist the heart towards the inner thigh, and then reach the right arm up. Now I'm just realizing that when you're looking at me, it might look like I'm doing left when I'm calling out right, so, hopefully that doesn't confuse us too much, and just make sure you do one leg first and the other leg second. Keep breathing here, reaching. Exhale, lower the hand down. You're going to tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. Spin the back heel in and down so it's parallel with the back edge of your mat. Rise up, warrior two. So this front leg stays bent. And you want to bring your arms out to a T. You want your front knee to be opening towards the pinky toe side of the front foot, and your chest faces the long edge of your mat. Breathe here. Keep your legs exactly as they are. Flip your front palm. Inhale, lean back to radiate. And then exhale, bring your front forearm to your front thigh and bring your back arm alongside your ear for side angle pose. On your next inhale, rise up, arms out to a T. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame your front foot. Move that blanket out of the way. Step back in Vinyasa or go straight to down dog. Inhale the left leg high to the sky. Exhale, bring your foot forward. It lands in between your hands for a lunge. Gently lower the back knee down. You could pad up with a blanket here. Drop weight into the right hand. Climb left hand to thigh. Spin chest in. Again, hopefully these lefts and rights aren't too confusing. You're turning your chest in towards your bent knee. And then lift the top arm up. Breathe here. Lower the hand down, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. Let's move the blanket now. Spin the back heel down. It's parallel with the back edge of the mat. Rise up, warrior two. So your front knee is bent. Your hips are level. Your arms are out to a T. Your chest faces the long edge of your mat. Make your shoulders heavy away from your ears and breathe here. Keep your legs exactly as they are. Flip your front palm. Inhale, lean back to radiate. And then exhale, come forward. Front forearm on front thigh. Top arm alongside top ear. And breathe here. On your next inhale, rise up, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, flow, or go straight to down dog. From here, let's come to a child's pose. So point your toes back, sink your hips to your heels, melt your forehead to the chest. Sorry, your forehead and chest towards the mat. Just breathe into your back body. And then you're going to make your way back to downward facing dog. That's where we will meet. From downward facing dog, you could find stillness or pedal out your feet, you decide. Lift your right leg high to the sky, and then draw the foot forward. It lands in between your hands for a lunge. Now, I should have said before, if you do have a block, you're going to bring it towards the top of your mat, and my right foot is forward, so you want it near your right foot, so the right edge of the mat. You're going to rise up, warrior two. So spin your back heel down, rise up, warrior two. Breathe here. Flip your front palm. Inhale, lean back to radiate. And then exhale, come forward. Right forearm to right thigh. Left arm alongside left ear. Now, reach your top fingers up. So now your hand is right over your shoulder. Start to straighten your front leg. Bring your bottom hand to your shin. Here's where you could bring a block to the outside of your front foot for triangle pose. So both legs are straight. Your arms are out to a T, but one hand is reaching down and one hand is reaching up. And there's a gentle spin of your heart to the sky. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other in your back body. Now pull your belly in a little more. Breathe. On your next inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to hips. You're going to turn your right toes in. So now all your toes face the same direction. Take an inhale to lift your heart. And on an exhale, press your hips back. You're going to fold forward, coming to a wide-legged forward fold. So when you get down here, put a little bend in your knees so some weight can go forward into your toes. And then drop your head towards the earth. Lift your hips a little higher. You're going to breathe here. Bring hands under shoulders, lift your heart up halfway. Start to turn your front toes forward, climb forward, come to this lunge. And now from here, I want you to bring your front foot all the way to the outer edge of the mat and bring both hands to the inside of your front foot. Yeah, so your hands are shoulder width distance. You want lots of space. This is a lizard lunge. You can stay here. You can lower your back knee down. You could also come down to your forearms if you'd like. I don't really have the space in my hips to do that, so I'm not going to do that. Breathe here. If the back knee is down, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. You're going to step back to plank. From here, you could flow or go straight to down dog. Remember to lower on an exhale. Inhale to lift. And then exhale back. Bring the left foot forward in between the hands for a lunge. Spin the back heel down, rise up, warrior two. So chest faces the long edge of your mat, arms out to a T. Flip your front palm, inhale to lean back and radiate. And then exhale, bring front forearm forward, top arm alongside ear for side angle pose. Breathe here. On an inhale, rise, arms out to a T. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Now reach your back hip back, your front fingers forward and down for triangle pose. The top arm comes up. Again, if you have a block or a block type prop, you could bring that to the outside of your front foot. On your next inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to hips. You're going to turn those front toes in. So all the toes face the same direction. We're going to wide leg forward fold again, but this time interlace your hands at your low back. Inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, put a little bend in the knees. Hips go back, fold forward. With the weight into the toes, start to lift the hips a little higher. You could keep the elbows bent here. That'll just have a different kind of stretch in the shoulders, so you decide. If you're like me and you hyperextend your elbows though, try to keep a little bend in them so you're actually stretching into the shoulders, not the elbows. Breathe here. On your next inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, release hands. You'll turn your left toes forward. Bend into your front knee. Carve the hands to frame the front foot. Step back. Go ahead and flow. Look forward. Walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Lay with a long spine. Big inhale. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, chair, knees bend, hips sink, lift arms. Exhale, stand, mountain pose. Just hold here, breathe here. You could take a drink of water if you want or need to. We're going to do a little balance work here. So if you have a wall and you'd like to come near the wall, you're more than welcome to. So we're going to practice tree. Bring your hands to your hips for stability. Separate your feet as wide as your hips. You're going to start by pouring weight into your right leg. Lift your left leg off the ground. And again, if it looks like I'm doing the opposite, just lift one leg. That's cool. The foot that's lifted, the knee that's lifted, open it to the side. And then bring the sole of the foot to the standing leg. You could use the hand to help it. It could be at thigh, calf, even on the floor. And we're in tree. So keep squaring hips and chest forward. Keep opening this bent knee back. And then option to bring hands to press in front of your heart. You can't see that here, but you can imagine it. Option to grow your tree, extend your arms alongside your ears, making that V or that Y shape overhead. As you're rooting into your standing leg, bring the hip of the standing leg in. Pull your belly up a little more. Lift your heart a little higher. Shoulders away from ears. Crown of head is light, lifting up to the sky. Go ahead and release hands to hips. You're going to bring the front knee forward and lower it down. Shake out the standing leg, kind of roll out both hips, like a standing little roll. And we'll do that on the other side. So come to stand with feet nice and wide, hands on hips. You'll pour weight into the opposite leg, lift the opposite knee up. Open the knee to the side and bring the sole of the foot to press on the standing leg. Could be thigh, could be calf, could be ankle, could be floor. Hips are forward, chest is forward, knee is opening. Bring this hip of the standing leg in, pull your belly in. Bring palms to press in front of your heart. Woo. Option to grow your tree, extend your arms alongside your ears. Find that deep, steady breath in and out. Okay, bring hands to hips. Carefully release the lifted foot. And shake out the standing leg. Roll out the hips. And just come to stand, feet nice and wide. Maybe in a Tadasana, but a little more wide. You're going to interlace your hands behind you. Inhale, lift your heart up. And then on your exhale, start to bend into your knees and sink your hips back. Allow your knuckles to float overhead. So just getting a little stretch in the shoulders here. Again, be mindful of the elbows. And you could kind of like wag your tail from side to side, like make these gentle rocking motions. Shake the head, breathe. And then on your next inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, release the hands. We'll do a little more work at the top of the mat. So separate your feet as wide as hips, hands on hips. Step your left foot back in space, 1 to 2 feet. So it's a very short warrior one stance. So imagine you have a balance beam on your mat and you're standing on either side. The front toes are forward, back toes angling at about 11, chest is forward. Take hold of opposite elbows behind you. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, hips hinge back as you fold forward for pyramid pose. So you want to level out your shoulders straight from left to right, and then draw your right hip back in space more so your left hip can spin forward. You want both legs straight without locking out the knees, and press into the inner edges of both feet. Feel this stretch in the backs of your thighs and in your outer hips, and breathe here. On your next inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, release your hands, step forward. So again, keep the feet nice and wide. Step the opposite foot back 2.5, 3 feet. Imagine there's a balance beam you're standing on either edge. Front toes are forward, back toes angling at about 2 o'clock, unless your clock is reversed. Hips forward, chest forward, take opposite elbows behind you. Lift the heart. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, hips go back as you fold forward for pyramid. You want the shoulders straight from left to right. Both legs are straight without locking out the knees. Keep drawing the left hip back so the right one can spin forward. Press into the big toe mounds of both feet. And go ahead and fold and breathe. On your next inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to hips, step forward. Come to stand at the top of your mat in mountain pose, Tadasana. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and breathe. Inhale, sink back to chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale back, Vinyasa or roll knee and down dog. Inhale your right leg high to the sky. Exhale your foot forward, it lands in between your hands for a lunge. Keep that back heel lifted. And then you're going to rise up, find a high crescent lunge. So check in, bring your hands to your hips. Make sure that they're level, they're straight from left to right. And then put a little bend in your back knee. Pull your pelvis up. Now lengthen your leg back. So the tummy is pulling in. Lift the heart a little higher. Now bring arms alongside the ears. Shoulders away from ears. Breathe here. Feel as though you could squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. That will help square the hips forward. Now from here, lower your hands to your hips. You're going to carefully spin your back heel down, open up to warrior two, arms out to a T. Gaze towards your front middle finger, breathe. Flip your front palm, inhale, lean back to radiate. And on your exhale, come forward, side angle. We've been here a couple times, so you have more options. You could find a half bind, bring the top hand to the bottom hip. You could lower the front hand to the inside of your front foot, maybe to the floor or to a block. You could take a full bind, going in search of hands underneath thigh, and then opening heart to sky. Breathe wherever you are. And then we're going to open up to triangle. So straighten front leg, bring hand to shin or block. Top arm lifts up, pull your belly in, and breathe. On your next inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to hips. You're going to turn those front toes in slightly. Turn your back toes out. So your heels are facing in. We're setting up for goddess pose. So go ahead and bend into the knees. You want your knees to open back. You want your tailbone to heavy. You can keep your hands on your hips or find goddess arms like goalpost arms. Breathe here. Pull your belly in. Put more weight into the pinky toe sides of the feet, into the heels, and sink the hips down. Keep breathing. Channel that goddess energy, that healing energy, that Mother Earth energy. From here, inhale, open up, warrior two. Exhale your hands to the earth, vinyasa or straight to down dog. We'll meet there. Inhale your left leg high to the sky or opposite leg. Exhale, bring foot forward, hands in between hands for a lunge. Keep that back heel lifted on an inhale, rise up, high crescent. So let's bring the hands with the hips, check in with the hips. We want them level, so straight from left to right. Put a little bend in the back knee, draw your belly up, pull it in, you're engaging the tummy. Now lengthen the back leg long. Now lift the arms up, shoulders away from ears, breathe here. Feel as though your inner thighs are squeezing towards each other. That'll help get this right hip or this, right hip forward, left hip back. Now from here, hands to hips. Carefully spin back, heel down, open up wide, warrior two, arms out to a T. Flip your front palm, inhale, lean back to radiate, and then exhale forward to side angle. We've been here a couple times. Options, this top hand could go in search of this back hip. The front hand could go down to the ground, to a block, or to the mat. You could find the bind, holding hands with yourself underneath your front thigh and spinning heart to sky. Breathe wherever you are. And then on your next inhale, you're going to open up to triangle pose. Give yourself permission to support yourself with that block, if that would be kind. On your next inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to hips. You're going to turn those left toes in slightly, the right toes out slightly. Or whatever toes you have, they're both facing out as the heels face in. And then bend into your knees for goddess. So you want the knees going out, the tailbone going long, the belly drawing up. You can keep hands on hips or find these goalpost goddess arms. Breathe here. Let's all embody this goddess energy, a nourishing, healing earth energy. Breathe. There's some fire in this pose too, right? So fire yourself up from the inside. Inhale, open up, warrior two. Exhale, hands to the earth. Optional vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And then from down dog, take your time to get there. We'll come to a child's pose. Child's pose might be getting a drink of water for you, or both. We'll breathe in child's. And then from child's pose, we're going to come back to our back. So We're entering a little bit of a wind down of the practice. We're going to do some floor stuff, and then we're going to have a restorative shape. So you've done great so far. Come to lay on your back, plant your feet. We were here before. We did some bridge stuff. If you'd like to start really winding down and you have a block or something soft or even a blanket, you could slide that under your hips now for supported bridge. If you'd like some more active back bending, we'll take bridge together. So feet are hips with distance, ankles are right under knees, arms are alongside the body, palms down. Press into the feet and the upper back. On an inhale, lift your hips high and stay lifted. And then move your upper arms underneath your upper back. Option to interlace hands, reach knuckles for heels. So the heart is lifting to the chin. The knees are staying in line with the hips, just like we did at the beginning of practice. And really press into your feet to lift your hips high. If this doesn't feel good on your low back, you have a couple options. You can lower down, you can come out of this. You could try squeezing your butt muscles, see if that helps relieve any tension. And if not, please lower down. Go ahead and move your hands up from underneath you, flatten your back, lower your hips down. Keep your feet nice and wide, just windshield wiper them from side to side. And then go ahead and plant your feet. We'll set up for another bridge. As you're ready, on an inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips high, and then start to shimmy your upper arms underneath your upper back, like your biceps are going to rest underneath your shoulder blades. Interlace your hands, reach knuckles for heels. Keep lifting and breathing. Go ahead and move your hands, your arms up from underneath you, lower down. Option for stillness, option to wind, wipe your shins side to side. I'm going to give one more option for a back bend. You can come back to bridge. That's where you've been. Whenever you're ready, inhale and lift up. If you'd like to practice upward facing bow, it's the same foot pattern as bridge, but you bring your hands alongside your ears, fingertips pointing towards tops of shoulders. And I don't recommend this unless you've done it in a studio and you know where we're going, because I want to protect your head and your neck here. So if you're coming to bridge, inhale, lift. If you're coming to up bow, press into hands and feet. Inhale to lift. So either way, the heart is reaching towards the chin, and you're pressing down to lift. And breathe. Stay here as long as your breath and body support you. And then when you're ready to come down, hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Make gentle rocking motions across your low back. And then start to either rock up and down your spine or roll over into one side. We're going to come up to sit. And we're going to come to a supported shape, a restorative shape. So we're going to take a twist. So I want you to take your blanket. It needs to be more of a rectangle. So let me see what I'm going to do with my blanket. Yeah, so you want like a pretty skinny rectangle. It doesn't have to be as long as mine. In fact, I'm going to fold mine in half again. So I have this rectangle that's about as wide as my shoulders and as long as my torso, coincidentally enough. And then you want that to go in the middle of your mat where your head's going to go. And we're going to come to this supported twist. So bring one hip up to the edge of the bottom edge of this blanket that you've created. And again, if you're struggling with your blanket or need to find one, just hit pause and go do that and then come back. So with hip against the edge of the blanket, you want to turn your chest so it faces the blanket. And you want hands on either side. I have to bring my phone over so I can check the time. Okay, anyway. Start to climb forward. And then, so whoopsie, my blanket's not long enough. I want to have my face on the blanket. So you might need to scoot down a little away from the blanket for that to happen. Just depends on what length you have. So you want your cheek supported on the blanket. You want your hands, your palms flat. I don't know if you can see that from here. And you can either look the same direction as your knees or look away from your knees. And we're just going to be here for a little while. So settle in and breathe. Still resting here, still breathing. See if you could soften across your upper back a little more. Soften your jaw and face. Slowly start to deepen your breath. You're going to slide your hands back so they're under your shoulders. And just gently press yourself up. You're going to turn to face away from the blanket. Bring your knees up through center and release them to the opposite side. So we're going to find this twist the other way, okay? So your hip is pretty close to the blanket, if not right up next to it. Turn your chest to face the blanket. Hands will frame either edge. And start to climb yourself forward, bringing one cheek to the blanket. So you want your hands flat, your forearms flat. Maybe you want palms up if that feels good for you. And again, you can look the same direction as your knees or look away from your knees. But that could be a very intense stretch for some, okay? And just soften and breathe here. Still laying, still breathing. See if you could get softer across your shoulders. Soften your jaw and the back of your neck. Slowly start to deepen your breath. You could sigh. Walk your hands back so they're under your shoulders. And then press down to slowly lift up. You're going to move this blanket off to the side and come to face forward. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Take hold of your ankles. And just get really tall in your spine here. Take a big inhale. And then exhale to fold, coming to Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. On your next inhale, come on up to sit. We're going to do a little more stretching before we transition to Shavasana, the final resting pose. So keep one of your legs bent, extend the other one long. I like to have my ankle a little off the mat here. It just gives my hips more room. And then this foot that's on your bent knee is going to press into your inner thigh. Peel some flesh off your sits bones behind you. Turn your chest to face your long leg. Hands frame the leg. Flex into that foot. Sit up nice and tall, and then climb your hands forward. Fold in half. Just feel the beauty of your breath moving through your body right now. Start to walk your hands back, come on up to sit. And we'll find the shape on the other side, so extend the bent leg long, heel is right off the mat. Bend the long leg, press the foot inside the thigh. Flex the toes, get nice and tall, take a big inhale. And then exhale, fold, climb yourself forward. Start to walk your hands back, come on up to sit. One more stretch here, so extend both legs long out in front of you. Peel some flesh off your sits bones, flex the toes, bring hands by your sides, sit up really tall, like press into your hands to lift your heart, peel shoulders away from ears, belly comes in. Take a big inhale. Exhale, climb forward. and rise on up to sit. And you've made it to the most important shape of your physical yoga practice, which is Shavasana. So you're going to come to lay on your back. You want your feet nice and wide. If you have a blanket, it could be nice to slide like the rolled up blanket under the backs of your knees or your thighs, especially if you have anything going on in the low back. You might like to use the blanket as a blanket. It goes over your hips. It can provide some extra grounding. But either way, you're going to come to lay back. Have your palms up, your arms nice and wide. Soften your whole back body into the earth and close your eyes here. And let's settle in together into the silence, into the stillness with a few rounds of deep breath. So take a big inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh. Let's do that 2 more times together. Big inhale in. Exhale, sigh. And 1 more time, just like that. Big inhale in. And exhale, release. You stay here. Allow your body to sink. Allow your breath to be soft. And allow your mind to nestle deep within your body. Keep the video running, keep your music playing. I'll be back in a few minutes. You'll hear some chimes and my voice, and we'll come back awake together, and we'll close out practice together. So rest here for now. very slowly begin to deepen your breath. Take a big breath in, and then open your mouth and sigh. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll out your wrists and ankles. Might feel good to rock your head from side to side or reach your arms overhead. Eventually bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Pause here. Keep your eyes closed and roll over to one side. Pause here. Just take a moment curled in on yourself to thank yourself for coming to your mat today. And take a moment to truly marvel at your body for all of the amazing things it does for you every moment of your life. And then go ahead and press yourself up to sit. Find a comfortable cross-legged seat. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. And from here, we'll close practice by joining our voices in the sound and vibration of Om 2 times. Once to honor the space in which you've practiced, and once to honor each other. Everyone who participated in this class, everyone who wanted to be here. Let's just say everyone in the whole world. In a moment, we'll inhale together, and our exhale will create the Om. Let's inhale together. Gently bow forward in gratitude to yourself. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope to see you again. I hope you'll come back and practice. Take care of yourselves.